If you spent 5 minutes in any online RPG space, you've come across the Edition Wars. Some folks treat these books like religions, and they draw a line in the sand between THAC0 and proficiencies. But while we fight over the math, we're missing the forest for the trees. Does addition really matter, or are we just fighting over a number on the cover? Imagine two chefs. One uses a vintage cast iron skillet and a wood fire stove. The other, a high-tech induction range and a sous vide. They are using completely different operating systems, but they are both making a steak. The equipment doesn't provide the flavor, the chef does. At the end of the day, the result is a meal shared with friends. Whether you're playing the 1974 classic or the latest high-gloss heartbreaker, you're playing the exact same game. Don't let mechanical gatekeeping keep you from exploring the hobby. If you want your games to be better, start looking at what other chefs are doing. Steal a classic procedure for your modern game, or bring a cinematic flair to your old school crawl. We often feel like learning a new edition is similar to learning a new language, but the mechanical DNA of D&D has not mutated as much as you might think. Think of editions as like a lens on a camera. One may be a wide angle that shows a whole entire heroic landscape. Another may be a macro that shows the gritty, dirty details of a dungeon trap. The lens may change how you see the world, but that mountain that you're photographing hasn't moved 1 inch. The loop is always DM describes, players act, dice decide. If you want to improve your game, you need to stop focusing on the lens and focus on your subject. To make your sessions better, focus on fiction first. Describe the world so vividly that the players forget which rule set they're using to interact with it. We've all seen it. OSR versus modern. We're told it's a choice between lethal puzzles and superhero power fantasies. We're told we can't have both, but is the divide real, or is it just a difference in the way we sit at our tables? It's like the difference between driving an automatic versus a manual transmission. If you've never done it, the manual, or OSR, seems like a nightmare of levers and timing. You're worried about stalling or redlining. But once you're proficient, you don't even think about the gears. They become an extension of your body, and the complexity vanishes. So whether if you're in control of every gear or you're letting an automatic do the work, eventually the car disappears and you're just driving. So the feel comes from your proficiency and your expectations, not the rules. And once you master the tools, you realize they were never the point. To make your games better, stop focusing on learning new systems and just focus on the drive. When you get good enough at it, the rules stop being something you do and they become invisible. We've all had that game, perfect map, perfect minis. You knew every rule and it was just flat boring. Why? Because we've been lied to. We've been told that fun is a product of the rules, but the rules are actually the least important thing at your table. A rule book is just a scaffolding for a house. It's the poles and the planks that hold up the structure while it's being built. But nobody wants to live in scaffolding. You want to live in a house. The warmth, the furniture, the people inside. So once the building is standing, you don't even need those poles and planks anymore. D&D is not a set of rules. It's a social contract. To make your games better, prioritize the house over the scaffolding. If the rules are getting in the way of a great moment, let the scaffolding fall. Your players won't remember the grappling rules, but they will remember that time they nearly TPK'd and the halfling pulled out some insane idea. We spend hundreds of dollars on books and thousands of hours online arguing about which rule set is the best. But if we strip that all away, what is actually left? What is the soul of Dungeons and Dragons? It's a campfire. Since the dawn of time, humans have sat around a fire telling stories to keep the dark at bay. The edition you play is just the type of wood you throw on the flames. Some wood burns fast and bright, and some slow and steady, but the magic isn't in the wood. It's in the circle of people gathered around it. Everything is D&D. The people around the table make the game. To have the best game possible, focus on your players. Listen to them, surprise them, and value their presence over the rules. Because as long as you're sitting together and creating something, you're playing the only edition that matters. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the philosophy of our hobby, leave a like and roll a critical on that subscribe button. Now get out there and design some dungeons, and I'll see you next time.